the dozer had dirt stuck to the blade, right? And the dozer operator's like, hey, Duncan, can you get the blade wax, please? We got to put this on the blade so the dirt doesn't stick. So, okay, now he's on board. So he parks the rock truck and he's looking for blade wax. Well, everybody on the crew knows about this, right?
If you had to explain to an old school operator if machine control is worth it, what would you say?
I think the biggest thing with the older generation is that, even their cell phones, like half of them don't even know how to use their cell phone. So you put a screen in there, it just gets intimidating. I commend them. Like, I've had an old school cat skinner work for me too, and he could cut a beautiful pass, and it would be very good. And but it just wasn't as accurate, right? And GPS
is perfect.
It's perfect. And I feel like sometimes it hurts their pride. That's the biggest thing, right? Mm-hmm. They're like, it's just like, man, I'm out by that much. It's kind of a pride thing, I think, for the older guys. I don't think they got to feel hurt about it, right? Like, the industry has changed. It's like, you got to adopt it, right? Mm-hmm. And use keep your finishing skills and your great operating skills. But, it's just never going to be as perfect as GPS, and you're never going to be as perfect. There's no way a human can be as perfect as GPS on a straight pass, right? So,
the sign of a really good operator is they got a shitty resume.
Yeah.
They can't spell.
Oh yeah,
it's
that's
like
right.
Not formatted.
Yeah.
It's like,
Exactly.
That guy's good.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the word spelling mistakes. And, oh yeah.
Do you have any good stories? Some dirt moving stories?
Yeah, I mean,
good, bad, ugly. What you got?
Well, there's always good and the bad and the ugly, right? I mean, not every day is perfect, but we get ourselves into some predicaments all the time, right? Like, we've been on some jobs that sometimes you feel like you're way over your head on, right? Mm-hmm. And I think the biggest challenge is just perseverance, right? Like, don't lose your cool, figure it out, and just try to diversify and make things work, right? So, I mean, last year we did a job out by Picture Butte there. We did a new canal around the lake, for instance, right? And we bid it low. We needed the winter work, and I was like, let's you got to keep guys busy. Let's do it, right? Mm-hmm. And we got it, and we were low on that bid. And everybody was like, oh, this is it. That's the end of STX. They're going to go bankrupt on this thing, right? I was like a little nervous there, right? I was like, oh shit. But I think that's probably one of the best jobs I ever did. I think I made more money on that job than I've ever, like, margin-wise, than anything else. I think everybody else was too freaked out about it. But it was soft. It was a swamp. It was soft condition. We had like I think 150 rig mats in just to run hose on and stuff like that. Like, you couldn't stay above ground. We had to build a dike through the middle of the lake, kind of, a berm through the middle of the lake, clean all the loon shit out of the bottom of that thing. And it was just like, people felt really overwhelmed with it. And our ag side of things, when we did ponds and stuff like that, we were kind of used to working in mud and stuff like that. Yeah. So, kind of knew what we were getting into there a little bit. But no, I was like, I always tell my guys, I would do that job for 10% less. The same job.
You learned how to do it really, really efficient.
Exactly. It was like,
because you had to.
Yeah, no fucking around, right? Like, we're not going to just make time here.
So now do all jobs then.
Well, exactly.
Like that.
Exactly. And we learned a lot from that, right? Look, so much. That's what I really enjoy about, like, challenging work, right? Is that you learn so many different things, and it's like, man, like, why couldn't we just do that on another job, right? So, it's the challenges of. I like challenging shit. Me too. I like sketchy shit. Yeah. If no one else wants to do it, I want to do it. I don't know what it is. So, you want to run a dozer on a 3-to-1 or 2-to-1, a slippery slope on frost? Yeah, we'll try it. We'll give it a shot, right?
Let's put corks on it.
Yeah.
Do you have any pull pans?
No.
You're friends with Kyle Bates, and you don't have any pull pans.
No, he's trying to sell them.
I bet.
He's trying to sell them to me right now. But yeah, no, it's coming. It's coming. The scraper industry is a weird industry right now. I don't know what it is. Everybody that owns scrapers are very tight-lipped and, like, I don't know. It's just a cliquey little thing. scraper guys. I don't know what it is. I rented a scraper for a week, and I had all the scraper companies driving by my sites and like peeking and asking questions to my guys. It's like they're all worried that I'm buying a scraper, and it's like, man, is this either there's something that's really good that I'm missing out on, or they don't want any competition, or I don't know. It's just weird.
I was supposed to go film for multiple companies that have scrapers.
Yeah.
And they said, you can show everything but the scrapers. We don't want no one to know
Really?
how we're moving dirt because we're doing it so much better and faster. It's like, you fucking stupid. Like,
Everybody's seen the scraper work before,
this is
right?
no secret.
Yeah,
the
no
whole
kidding.
world knows
Yeah.
about scrapers and pull pans
Guy
and all this
goes
different
typing
shit, right?
637s on YouTube, right? You can watch anything you ever watch. But I mean, like, yeah, it's a clicky thing. I don't know, but yeah, I don't know if we have that market for it yet. I mean, I don't know, but we're looking.
Mm-hmm.
We're always looking to expand, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like trying different things and getting different gear.
Do you have plans to expand outside of Lethbridge at all, or?
Well, right now we work in Saskatchewan. Do quite a bit of work
do?
in Saskatchewan. Yeah, yeah. We're actually next week we're going up there for probably for 6 weeks. We'll be out there, and then we got to go to like Central Alberta and that kind of stuff.
I'll come down. Let's film some videos.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that's going to be a big one. That's we're going to be doing 120,000 ton of RCC there, so it's going to be a big. That's about 85 acres of straight concrete.
Cool.
Yeah.
For more cow?
Yeah,
stuff?
yeah, more feedlot applications again. So
What do other feedlots use?
just clay base. It's either clay base pens or
Or they struggle in the mud?
they struggle in the mud. It's cost, right? Like not all farmers are wealthy, so I mean, but yeah, like any people that really are redoing feedlots, like typically that was always like retrofits. We'd put the RCC in, and but now even new expansions, like it's been tried, tested, it's true. Like the feeding efficiencies, the maintenance, the costs, the ability to clean your pens anytime you want, the clean manure. Because now, like,
Not mixed with clay?
well, exactly, because now it's a whole new green energy projects are coming out of this whole RCC movement, because all these biodigesters are coming. Like companies out of Europe and stuff, they're wanting to build biodigesters around our area, and then
So they want clean manure to feed
yeah
them.
to feed them, yeah, and then they make renewable energy, right? So it's just natural gas, but it has to be clean manure. So yeah, now it's a whole new movement of the guys are like, hey, I can sell my manure to a biodigester now for a good margin, right? So now they're like, hey, let's put RCC in our pens so I can sell this product, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it's kind of a revolving door of just kind of different areas of things going on. So
You began this on your own? Your dad
Yeah, yeah.
didn't have a construction
No,
company?
no.
So, like,
no,
you're not the spoiled kid
No,
that was
start-
given a construction company?
no shit, no. Started this from nothing, really, exactly that. So I bought my first Peterbilt gravel truck, a trencher. Trenchers don't work in our area. Too much sand, too much rocks.
Just slough it.
Fucking around with that thing. I said, screw it, sell that thing. Bought an excavator. Started doing that. Started doing some pivot main lines.
Do
small
it.
projects.
Use a tile plow. You ever use them?
Yeah. They have lots of tiling going on in our area.
Do they?
So,
Yeah.
yeah, lots of guys do that. Yeah, no, it just started from nothing, right? Like it just in the first 5 years was brutal. It was a lot of work. Wintertime you were getting a job just to carry yourself through winter.
Mm-hmm.
Summertime you pick up a little $10,000 job and you thought you were on cloud nine. You're like, sweet, got a decent job, right? And then we just had a few lucky breaks. Like the right customer phoned us and gave us a job, and because they seen how good we were doing and stuff, and we just kind of proved ourselves from there.
You use a case dozer
Yeah,
and a case.
everything's
holder.
case. Yeah,
Why? Please explain.
dealer. Yeah, no.
Gotcha.
And that's what I started with. I had a case 760 trencher is what I started with. Then I had a case excavator.
Mm-hmm.
Then I bought a case skid steer. My dad runs case on the farm, so it's kind of a natural thing. And actually another thing too is like, I went to CAT, I went to Deere, went to Kubota, and all this. Like I wanted a brand new skid steer, and they just didn't look at you, right? They're like, yeah, we'll give you a price, and
Well, yeah, because back
Yeah.
then you're a little guy. They don't care about
yeah,
it.
give a
They
shit.
want the big
right?
fish.
Yeah, they're like, oh yeah, we'll give you a price, and it was way too much money, and do you apply for financing? Yeah, you're not good for financing or something like that. We went to Rocky Mountain Equipment that time, and they're like, here's a brand new skid steer, give her. I didn't even pay for it. They already dropped it off. They're like, yeah, you're gonna use it, so here you go. So built a really good relationship with them, And yeah, that's how things have carried on. And dealer support, obviously, right? Like we're in Lethbridge. Brant is next to none down there. We've got like 2 service trucks running around. We don't have Hitachi dealers. We don't have Komatsu dealers. We got a Finning dealer.
You have a Sani dealer, don't you?
Yeah, we have a Sani dealer. Yeah. No, Headwater does a lot of work with us. I like working with them quite a bit. So, but yeah, that's how we started. Case has been. Everybody always makes fun of it. It's a farm machine, or can't afford something else. They say.
I'm one of them, to be completely honest.
Yeah.
However, I haven't really ran many of them.
Yeah. The dozers, like, I would say their old generation dozers were like bulletproof. Like those were like, I have an 1150K, like it's a 2007, and things got 15,000 hours on it. Still running, right? But the newer ones are kind of like, ugh, I don't know. But
all new machines aren't like they used to.
Just
all of them.
No, exactly. So, but they're priced more competitively, right? Like, I can't go buy 2 brand new D6Ts for 1.2 million a piece. Like, I can't afford.
They're not that much.
I think it's close to $1 million now.
No.
Oh yeah.
D8's $1 million.
No, like a D6T, I think it's close to $1 million.
Is it? I don't know. I've never bought one.
No.
I'll take your word for it.
Freaking insane. Yeah. Unless the cat dealer's trying to screw me over, but no.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. No, and like I said, cat graders, I religiously.
They're undeniable.
Yeah.
Like.
Yeah. No, love the cat graders.
You buy a Sani grader.
Yeah.
They suck.
That's not it.
I ran one.
You ran one?
Yeah.
They're trying to copy the cat, right? Like they got the angled cab. They're really trying to pursue cat on that. And they're just not there. Like, if you want a grader, you buy a cat. So, but like excavators wise, like case excavators, I've had very few issues with those things. They're big cabs. I'm a big guy.
Yeah.
And they have the biggest cab. They're great. They're smooth. They're powerful. Great. So.
Do you do drive-by bench loading, or do you have stupid back-in?
No, bench loading. The only time you back in is if access or something like that, right?
Oh, I know. Guys online always go on about, you shouldn't pull through. You should load on
the
a
turnaround time.
No, I know.
It's cycle time, right? Like the truck's got to go in and out. It should be running a fluid circle. It should be no backing up in front of an excavator, right? The only time, like I say, is restrictions in room or something like that. So, but yeah, always load off a pile. Like, always don't load over top of the cab. I've seen some competitors do that, and it's like, my goodness, loading heavy blue clay and it's like swinging over the cab. I'm like, man, one chunk flies off that bucket, that's coming through that windshield, right? It's like, safety is huge, right? Like you got to be.
Yeah, I'm sure as a business you pay lots in insurance.
Oh, exactly. Yeah. No, and that's the goal is to
keep you guys safe.
Well, and everybody wants to go home again, right?
Yeah.
And safety is huge right now. It's like in some ways it's almost getting overboard. Like it's almost you can't do nothing. But it's all there for a reason, right? Someone got hurt, and it's he's a statistic, which we're gonna have to change, right? So.
Do you spend much time online at all?
Oh, whenever I got a free moment, yeah.
Watching some dirt porn?
Yeah, that's right, eh? Yeah. No, I always, YouTube or, my Facebook or TikTok's always full of excavation and different companies too and how they do things. I love watching that shit.
You're going to Con Expo next year?
Yeah.
Yeah, right on. Yeah, me too.
Third year. 2020, COVID year, that was a scary one because we...
I almost got stuck there.
Yeah, we were like just flying out. They were like, already shutting down airports at the time, and I was like, oh god. So yeah, we were lucky on that one. It's amazing how every 3 years, but like everyone is like it's never the same, right? Like so much stuff has evolved in 3 years, where it's like wow, 2020, the autonomous equipment was starting to make a little bit of a come through, and now 2023 there was like I think it was Devlon or something, had an excavator you could sit in, or like a cubicle you sit in.
Yeah, I ran
excavator
one. I ran it, yeah.
Yeah, in Georgia. You're running an excavator in Georgia or something.
Yeah. I mean, Cat has had that for quite some
Yeah.
time, but is there any other tech do you think that could help you? Or that you've been eyeing up and...
Well, AI, maybe robots. I don't know. If I could clone myself 15 times, that'd be freaking fantastic. But but that'd be kind of scary too at the same time. I don't know. Probably wouldn't get along with the other 15. Yeah, no, I mean, technology is always evolving, so we always take the latest and greatest. So you follow along, and it's like, hey, if this is somewhere this fits in, we're gonna adopt it, right? You always got to be. It's like a cell phone back in the day. You'd have one. A year later, that thing's, and even today, it's outdated, right?
Yeah, it's 6 months. Yeah.
Yeah. And now in construction, which used to never be a thing, wooden lath has been around since the 50s. Now it's like, you're every month you get an update on Leica, for instance, on the machine control side of things, or a new product out, or a new tablet, or something that's this, or a new option on the 3D side on the boom, on the machine control things and stuff. You kind of have to be ahead of everybody, because at the moment you're behind, you're playing catch up for a long time, and that's where I know a lot of companies now too are, they're just starting to adopt GPS right now, right? And they're so far behind because, well, they don't know how to use it yet. They've got one piece with it, whereas other companies got like 6. So it's you gotta be with the times.
Speaking of that, I see a lot of guys that are behind the times, like they're not even on social media. It's like,
yeah,
we have a bunch of clients and they're getting so much work and so many employees by simply
it's huge
invested in social media. Like it's the future. It has been for quite some time now, but it was tough to get a bunch of old school guys onto it. And the guys now that haven't, they're kind of fucked.
Yeah. Oh, exactly. Yeah. Our social media presence is pretty minimal right now, but a good example would be the reason I got into green energy, right? I put I never had a website. I never had a social media thing. And one week I was like, I better get this, right? So I set it up. I think it was like a day later, after I had it all kind of set up, my Google profile, I got this message from a non-Canadian fellow, and it sounded like a scam. And he's like, hey, I'm so-and-so, and we are doing a 100 megawatt solar project in Alberta. Would you be interested in pricing? And I'm like, come on. Within a day, I'm going to get a message like this? Like, I almost hit delete, right? And I was like, whatever. It's like one of those telemarketers. Sometimes it's fun to fuck with them, right? So, so I was like, you know what? I'm going to message him, see what happens, right? Well, we landed like a $2 million contract off that. And I was like, man, if I would have just deleted that, like, could you imagine? Right? It's just a fluke thing that just came in through their door. But if I wouldn't have set that up, I wouldn't have got it. I mean, for new operators too, and new people wanting to get into this industry, like everything's online, right? Social media. They want to see like the videos you produce, right? The cool videos, like to make it look attractive. They want to see that, and it gets them involved in applying for jobs, right? So
yeah, it does a bunch. We have a client in Vancouver. Through social media, they got found and got a $30 million contract.
No shit. Wow.
Yep. So they're going to be using us forever.
Yeah, no
basically.
Kidding. Yeah. No, and I think it pays off. I mean, like I said, everything's online right now. Like the access to technology, like social media, and like everybody's got a freaking computer on their hands right now, right? So the newspaper, like, used to be throw a little half-quarter page ad in a newspaper and hope to get 4 phone calls off it. Well, you're reaching the audience that is 50 times that, right?
Yeah.
So,
yeah, and there's guys that say, oh, I do all like the word of mouth type stuff. It's like, okay, but like, what happens if you're not around anymore?
Yeah.
How do you get new work?
Exactly.
If you're going around meeting people, like, then what?
That's
you're
right.
basically fucked.
No, exactly.
People don't think of that.
Yeah.
It's like one day you don't want to be in the office or doing outreach, business development. Like, then what?
Yeah, and I have no plans on selling my company, but if
I know.
But if you were to say, hey, I got sick or something, I got to sell the company, whatever, but it had a good social media, you're kind of selling the advertising with it, right? Like you're kind of selling it as a package. It's already a pre-established company that is already getting leads online
with the reputation that you built and showing that you're safe. And like, guys will look, oh, do they have safety record online, basically?
Exactly.
We'll take their bid over these cocksuckers that just cowboy shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's right.
These days, it's all about proof, whether it's how much dirt you moved or how you are as a company, all that stuff.
Yeah, and it's like having nice equipment, right? Like everyone showcase all that stuff. Like, you spend $5 million a year on new equipment, and the next guy across the street there has got a John Deere 892 excavator with the hood up, it's overheating, rusted out, no AC. I mean, why aren't we showcasing that we've got good iron and it draws in a customers and operators, right? Like if they can see it online that you run nice gear and
they all have seats.
Yeah, they all have seats. Even air conditioned seats.
I never had that ever.
No.
Bro, now they got Bluetooth. It's like I never ran a machine that had AC seats.
Yeah.
It kind of had AC work part of the time.
Oh yeah. AC seats,
Bluetooth,
rear view cameras around it. Yeah. All the luxuries, right? And it's
just wait until you're in the dozer and you have an AI assistant.
Oh yeah.
And you ask it, need more traction control, less.
Exactly. Do you find AI freaky?
Of course.
I think it's like to me it's kind of freaks me out a little bit. But.
So I do, but I don't. So we use it here for a lot of things to help speed up some processes and stuff like that, right?
Yep.
So I feel everyone needs to try to use it to help workflows and all this type of stuff, or you'll be left in behind.
Yeah, exactly.
So like AI is kind of like machine control.
Yeah.
You need to get on board, use it for whatever it may be. It's scary when it's doing like human type shit.
Yes.
But what I do like, for example, let's say I'm sick.
Yep.
I tell it, I'm eating this. These are my symptoms.
Right.
This is how long I've been doing this. It essentially has the mind of every doctor in the world in there.
Yeah.
And it can process it. You go to the doctor, these guys don't know fuck all. They're guessing what you have.
Oh, exactly.
They went to med school 20 years ago. I don't remember what the fuck I did yesterday. How am I going to remember when I took med school 20 years ago? So like AI, just use that as an example. You could use it for any and everything. Even like if your truck fails and like you don't know what, you can take a picture and ask any question and it'll tell you.
And you get an instant answer. It's actually crazy, but
it's good to use. But yeah, who knows where that's gonna go?
Yeah.
I feel one day inside a machine you're gonna have an assistant, AI assistant.
Yep.
Kind of that's gonna help you control the machine.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Troubleshoot, right? Like, why is this light on in the dash?
If it was like that, you just push a button, it would tell you what's wrong.
Yeah, no kidding. Yeah.
Everything needs to have that.
Yeah.
What would you like to do more of?
Like work-wise?
Anything.
Anything that's unique, right? I mean, I'd like to branch out in different areas too, like not just Lethbridge.
Yeah.
I would love to start, this is a pipe dream obviously, but I'd love to start a division of Southern States or something like that. Cold and frozen out here. Send the crews down there. Let's get some work going on down there and kind of just move our way up through the season. I mean, pipe dream probably, maybe, I don't know.
Not really.
Yeah.
I mean,
Nebraska right now is just so they're about 10 years behind us with this RCC stuff. So, we got probably another 5-10 good years here in our area yet before it starts slowing down. Then I hopefully wouldn't mind maybe getting something going on down there that, we're, set up for the next phase, so to speak. So,
as long as you have some money to maybe start and do some jobs, I mean,
we got Trump in power now, so he really wants businesses to move to the States. So,
and if you're on social media, you're able to reach people, get work down there.
Yeah.
Through being online, right?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
So it's probably not as hard as you think.
Yeah.
I mean, the money-wise is the
money and logistics is about the worst part of it, right?
Yeah.
I mean, anything is doable, but like I said, challenges are always fun. Like, I still remember our first job in Saskatchewan. I was like stoked for it. I was like, you know what? We're gonna go where the money is, right? Mm-hmm. And we went out there. It was, it was really fun at first because you stay in a hotel and you're with the guys, and it's just, work hard, play hard kind of deal. And now it's more of a, hey, it's get in. Everybody's got a little older. We've got families now, so it's more like, hey, let's get home as fast as we can, right? So, little different dynamic now, but.
But you don't want to dig basements or build roads.
Well, like we don't. Yeah, I mean we do basements already.
Oh, you do?
Oh yeah, we do. We've done that for a while. Roads we do, like private. We've done some
range roads and
yeah,
stuff?
we've done some county roads and stuff like that. So, like rehabilitations and whatnot. Yeah, no, we've done a little bit of everything already. I mean, we're just waiting for the next chapter, next crazy thing to happen around Alberta. You know, Alberta, it's a freaking wild card out here.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe there's an AI, what do you call those, freaking...
AI centers?
Yeah, those, they need all this cooling and stuff yeah. Maybe we're building those.
I mean, this is a great place because it's cold here in the wintertime.
Exactly.
Like shit.
Exactly.
Is there any oil and gas out your way?
Yeah, if you go a little more further east, like Medicine Hat, Tabor area, there's quite a bit of oil and gas. It's nothing like north, though, right?
Yeah,
It's such a primitive little bit. It's, you know, oil and gas, that would be a kind of a neat thing to get into. I feel it's pretty tied down already. The guys that are in it. And, you know, you gotta, it's like the old saying, it's who you know and who you blow kind of a deal. And, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll get into it. We're booked for this year. We're booking into next year already. We're just taking it as it comes. So.
Did you do any subdivisions at all?
Yeah. So this is our first one we're doing right now in Butte there. So.
Gotcha.
Yep. It's the first actual. It's commercial subdivision. And we're doing it start to finish. So with all the site grading, all the underground. You know, we got some tie-ins. We got some boring across some highways and stuff like that. So.
A couple more questions for you.
Yeah.
In your opinion, as a business owner who has worked in construction a long time, what makes a good operator?
What makes a good operator? Well, an operator that is willing to learn. That makes and adapt, right? A lot of like new guys, right? If they're just hard-headed and they just don't want to pick up on tips and tricks and little things and throughout their work days, and I mean, they're just not going to get anywhere. I feel, right? When I'm hiring an operator, I mean, obviously, one thing is keep the equipment nice. Like, I hate people that run the bag off everything. I mean, we had a brand new excavator. It had to be like 200 hours on it.
Yep.
And there he's bulldozing with the counterweight, right? Just sideswiping. And it's like, okay, you're back in Packer duty, buddy. Like, if you're not going to take care of it. I actually have stickers I put in every single piece of equipment. It says, this equipment pays your salary. Take care of it. You know, I've had guys too that are just slobs, right? And they just water bottles on your seat. You just hop in a skid steer and all you hear is crunch. Garbage cans, or the garbage and chip bags, and, you know, all kinds of shit on the floor. And it's like, you go to their vehicle and it's perfectly clean. And it's like, why can't you do that?
It's because they don't have respect for other people's shit.
Yeah. So I've been half tempted so many times that people that are like that just take all the garbage and just huck it on the seat of their truck. It's like, here, you take it home with you, right? You take care of it, back it away, and take it home with you. Good operator, yeah. I mean, obviously, another one is like a safe operator, someone that's not jerky, and you know, if he's working beside someone that you're not gonna be worried that he's gonna swing into the guy and take his head off. To make a good operator, slow is fast, or slow is, how does it go? Smooth is fast, right? So I always say guys that too. It's like a smooth operator will always get more done than a fast, jerky operator. He might look like he's doing more buckets, but he's just not thinking, right? So, but yeah, no. So 27 guys, but we try to keep it as like a family environment, right? Like these guys are spending more time at work than at their home with their kids. They don't need to be surrounded by drama. Like, this should be a very comfortable place to be. You know, it should be a fun place to work. You know, people that joke around. You know, we have kind of a little hazing thing we do in the company. You ever heard of blade wax?
No, what's that?
Okay, so whenever we get a new green operator, you know, we haze them. So it's like, we had a guy start a couple of months ago, or about a month ago, and he actually quit because of it. He was just a softie. But anyways, the dozer had dirt stuck to the blade, right? And the dozer operator's like, hey, Duncan, can you get the blade wax, please? We got to put this on the blade so the dirt doesn't stick. So, okay, now he's on board. So he parks the rock truck and he's looking for blade wax. Well, everybody on the crew knows about this, right? Everybody's like, hey, go look in the trailer. Should be there. Should be a blue pail. Okay. I don't see it. Okay. Phone. And then we actually got a few construction stores on board with this too. So they'll phone like the local construction supply store. They can make them phone like, hey, ask them if they got some in stock. So they'll phone them and they're like, ask him, did your boss want the synthetic or does he want the regular stuff, right? So then they'll phone the foreman again. He's like, oh, is it synthetic? And we just let it drag on forever, right? And well, the one guy just took it. I guess it made him feel too embarrassed or whatever. But it's kind of a hazing thing. It's just a fun thing we do with the guys. And most people, if they're, built like a blue collar guy, that they'll just get it and like, good, fuck you guys, thank you, and then they're part of the joke the next new guy comes around, right? So so it's kind of a thing. But yeah, it's a family environment with work. It's you want everybody to get along. You just want the guys to be happy, and that's my job too, is just keep everybody happy. Like, and it's not even pay anymore either, right? It used to be like everything was like pay, based on pay, but I find now it's more based on perks, right? Like the more perks you can get, like as an employee, I think the happier you are.
An operator can go work for anyone now. They have all the power.
Oh, exactly.
So yeah, you got to try and find a way to make life better.
Exactly.
Incentives to work there, whether it's just simple shit like get some hoodies and
exactly.
a bunch of stuff.
Yeah, like we got corporate golf passes, right?
Yeah.
It's strictly for the employees. It's like, here, there's 75 rounds of golf. You guys share it among
75, damn.
Yeah, just you guys can go golfing whenever you want. So just go to the golf course, go golfing, right? Doesn't matter. And it's like, Christmas parties and, bonuses and hoodies, swag, that kind of stuff. Like new company trucks, like just little things like that. Like that just keeps people motivated and wanting to be there, right? So I think that goes a lot further than sometimes a paycheck, because government takes half of it anyways for most of them. So
when it has to be right, you can trust Leica Technology to help you get the job done and grow your business with their cutting edge technology. Training employees is challenging and expensive, but Leica's simple to learn, simple to use products allow you to get your workforce up to speed much faster. Trust me when I say Leica Machine Control will help you move more dirt more efficiently. For more information on Leica Geosystem Solutions, please visit leica-geosystems.com.
Funny story.
I like funny stories.
So I was driving a oil truck, actually. I was hauling oil for planes back in the day. And I was actually just trying to think of a name that was catchy. I don't know. And I was like, terrain excavating. I'm like, it's probably something that's called terrain excavating. And I was like, below the ground, subterranean, right? And then, subterranean is like with like underground tunnels and whatever. Like it's kind of like the world underground. Mm-hmm. So I kind of put the two together. I was like, subterranean excavating, right? And that's kind of what I stuck with, and kind of rebranded to STX because it was getting a little long. Everybody was, know. So it's just STX now.
I like it.
But that's kind of where it came from, and it's a unique name, but it's kind of that's how I came up with it.
Do you have any questions for me?
Yeah, I could have a few questions for you for sure.
Have at her.
So
nothing's off limits. Nothing.
No, eh? Okay. All right. So what company did you work for before?
I worked 10 years at Kitco. Mm-hmm. Worked for Sherway. Did all sorts of shit. Worked for some landscapers. I began on a tree farm, actually.
A tree farm, really?
That's how I got in here.
Yeah.
I fell in love with the skid steer, the very first machine I ran. I've said this 1,000 times.
You looking for work?
What?
Looking for work? No. I'm looking for skid steer operators.
No. Yeah, I sat in that thing and I fell in love. It's like, I can lift 2,000 pounds.
Yeah.
I can lift 2,000 pounds with my arms.
Yeah.
It was like, it blew my mind.
Yeah, exactly.
So it became an extension of my body that I could be like Superman.
Yeah,
basically.
exactly.
It was just so cool.
No, that's right. And I'm a very mechanically inclined person too, right? And I just love the mechanics of how it always works, and just love
I used to fix my machines
Yeah.
and like all sorts of shit.
Yeah,
right?
it's cool. Yeah. So you were like primarily a dozer operator then?
Primarily, that was my favorite. So I learned everything because my passion was
Yep.
equipment
Yep.
and construction. So I learned the basics of everything.
Mm-hmm.
But I didn't want to be good at everything because you're good at nothing.
Right.
So I picked dozer as my main and the hoe was the side.
Yeah.
And those two main
Yep.
ones. As a foreman, I mostly ran crews of scrapers.
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah.
No shit.
I spent maybe 10 hours on a scraper,
No kidding.
but I've ran biggest fleets of scrapers in the country.
Is that right? Eh?
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
right on.
but I know how to use them.
Yeah. That's probably the only like other than pull pans. I've run pull pans, but I've never run actual like twin engine scraper.
Yeah, they
never,
suck.
Yeah, doesn't sound too
It's
enjoyable.
bumpy.
Seems like every single one I see is either got a smashed out windshield or smashed out window. Someone's head's come off that thing a few times.
How it happens all the time.
Yeah.
But
And scraper operators are just built a little differently, aren't they?
I worked with this guy. Well, he worked for me. He was like 79 years old,
Yeah.
still bouncing around a scraper. That's the only machine that
Yeah.
he wants to run. He
Yeah.
ran it for like 40 years.
Yeah. There used to be a company that we worked with too, and he was a guy who was like 78 years old, smoked like a chimney. You know, just best scraper operator you'd ever see, right? And he retired. 4 months later, he's dead. It's like, my goodness, he must have just got too bored.
It gave him purpose
Yeah.
and like all sorts of stuff,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
The reason to get up in the morning.
Yeah, exactly.
But
Yeah, my piece of equipment is a grader. Grader is my favorite thing to run.
I don't like grader.
No, hey?
I don't like to turn around all the time.
Ah,
I'd rather just back up. You
Yeah.
get shit when you back up in a
there's a
grader.
reverse on the grader.
Yeah, but you getting shit.
Yeah.
You're not supposed to drive with your blade up.
Yeah. It's
At least with the
old-
big guys, like
Yeah.
you get sent home.
The
over
blade
doing
up,
shit
yeah.
like that. Yeah,
No, I know. It's ridiculous.
you're going backwards, but the blade's still up.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
turn around and do something.
Yeah. No. I just like grader because it's the most challenging, right?
It is.
It's-
It's comfy and
It's comfy and it's you're always doing the cleanup work.
yeah.
You're always making it look neat and finished.
That's why I like dozer. Like I found it was the busiest machine. There's always something to do with the dozer.
Yes.
If there's not something here,
Yep.
go trucks.
Yep.
Go check on all the hosts. There's always something to do.
Yep.
Because you just sit there. Oh, I have nothing to do. Are
Yeah.
you fucking stupid? Like look around.
Yeah.
You're a support machine.
Yeah. Exactly. You know, I bought my first dozer. I still remember I bought it, and I was like, man, what am I gonna do with this thing? Like, I've never had a dozer before. I'm like, and actually, there was not many people that had dozers in their area. Like, everybody just did a hoe and a skid steer, right?
Yeah.
Kind of a deal. And I was like, well, what am I gonna do with this? I don't know. So, but I had it, and then we did a couple yard demolitions and cleaning a bunch of yard sites up and stuff. And I was like, man, we need a bigger one. So, went up one size, right, and then went up another size. Now we're up to 7 dozers, and I need more. But I need trying to find like a nice D8, like something a little bigger than the case when it goes to like a D6T size.
Yeah.
But I need something like a D8 to do some big pushes because we got some jobs too where, you know, just land clearing and stuff like that.
You can rent one.
Yeah.
I mean, it's
I
expensive
hate
to rent.
renting shit.
I know.
It's always like you rent it. It's always like you rent it and then you, for some reason, every time I rent something, I buy one, and it's like, well, now I just wasted 2-3 months of rent. I could have owned this thing for that much money.
Yeah.
Right. So, not a big rental guy, but
I love D8s.
Yeah.
I mean, 10s are better. But
yeah. Yeah. I don't have work for a 10, but
No, well, you do. You just
well, that's
you
the
don't
thing.
have a 10, so you don't go get work.
Well,
for it.
that's exact. You know, it's funny. My employees tell me that all the time. It's like, you just gotta buy it. Just buy it. And we'll find work for it. We'll get work for it. I'm like, yeah, and usually they're right, but sometimes I'm just like, gotta.
It's like the same concept as like you buy a fancy, expensive car before you can afford it because that
Yep.
gives you the drive to work harder to
Yep.
pay for the car.
Yeah, exactly.
And then like,
Yeah. No, that's right. And but yeah, we're a fleet of 60 pieces of equipment right now, right? So there's always
be out buying 2 V11s next week.
yeah. But you got to replace them all too, right?
No,
I like running stuff on warranty, so
Yeah.
and I mean, equipment is so bloody expensive right now. It's just unreal. Like if I would have known what they are, if I would have known now what I knew, or knew 5 years ago what I know now, I would have bought so much shit. But
So you buy new with warranty, so you don't go to auctions or nothing?
Well, I try Ritchie, but every time I go to Ritchie Brothers, it always looks good in the picture, and then it's disappointing when you get it, right? So, but new is...
Do you have a bunch of in-house mechanics?
Yeah, we got 2 mechanics, so right now we need to look for more. But like, of all people to hire, techs are the hardest people to find right now. Like, that's like techs are like equipment operators. The old guys, the guys that knew how to wrench on stuff, they're retiring. And these new guys, they can't fix nothing without a computer. They have to have a computer on it, right? And it's like, man, like sometimes that computer just doesn't know everything, right? Like we had a dozer down a couple weeks ago, and yeah, had a code, low fuel rail pressure. Cool, that's great. Yeah, so manual says to replace this and replace that. Well, it ended up being a tiny little check valve that was like a $4 part. Meanwhile, they're trying to change all this other stuff. It's like, sometimes you just got to think a little bit. I don't know. But
that's why my favorite dozer, one of them, is the L series, like a D9L.
Yeah.
As long as it has fuels, it fucking push. No sensors, not one sensor. Just
no
like,
lights blinking at you, beeping. Yeah.
Got oil and fuel, you're good to go.
Yeah, exactly. And I love that stuff too. I love old iron.
Me too. Not too old.
No.
Not the antique type shit. Cables, fuck, that's hard on.
You ever ran a drag line?
No, I won't. I filmed a couple in Florida, but I've never ran one.
I think that'd be pretty cool to run one of those things.
Yeah. Do you know a guy who has one?
Well, there used to be a couple in our area. I remember them swinging. There used to be the dugout cleaner guys, right? Swing that bucket out there, drag it across. Oh, yeah.
I want to run one.
Yeah. They're big in the States, like South Carolina, Florida area.
All down south, yeah.
They love drag lines out there, but there used to be a few out here, but it's kind of a...
Some in the coal mines and Saskatchewan, I think there's some...
They're just a bitch to move all the time, right?
Yeah, well, you don't move them.
Yeah, no, that's right.
Well, not far anyway. Like on site, move them, but that's about it. Yeah, it's my dream to run a drag line. I mean, it's not going to be that great, but I mean, it's just big, right? So
it's big and just, I don't know, it's something different, right? So
I still like my dozers. I love the 10s, 11s.
Yeah. I'm a blade guy myself. Like dozer grader, that's my piece.
Have you ran a 24?
No, I never done nothing that
they're
big.
Badass. Yeah, I ran lots of them. Yeah.
Really?
H and M. Yeah.
No kidding.
Yeah.
But is it that much bigger? Well, it's way bigger, obviously. But does it operate that much differently?
Exact same, just way bigger.
Yeah.
The blade doesn't lift very high.
Yeah.
Blade's a meter high, the mold board.
No shit.
24 feet. Yeah, it's a fucking monster.
Yeah, no kidding.
I drove them down the streets in Calgary at 4 a.m. with no traffic, and like you can barely turn the corner. Like, so you don't wipe the signs out. You got to move the blade all the way over, and then there's a sign in the boulevard, so you got to move the blade back, and like you take up 2 lanes.
No kidding. Yeah. Oh, they're monsters.
Yeah.
Monsters.
Pretty badass, but I mean they're good for stripping and
they're a rough machine.
Subdivisions, right?
Yeah. Mining haul roads.
Except at Kitco they have like 5 or 6 of them, and they use them for
Is that right?
Subdivisions, yeah.
No kidding.
You know how fast you can clean up a ginormous subdivision with a couple 24s?
Oh my god.
Like,
how much are 24s worth now? Probably like a couple $1 million.
Oh, I don't even know.
I know Headwater rebuilds them because it's cheaper to rebuild them and do a full rebuild on to buy a new one.
Probably.
I don't think Cat builds more than 15 or 20 of them a year. So.
Probably not, no.
Yeah,
okay, right on. What else? What's that?
Yeah, I mean, I think we covered all the bases pretty much.
Mention anything? I don't know. This podcast can be about whatever you want.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll shout out to my guys for being the most fantastic crew ever, right? Like, we wouldn't be who we are without my guys, right? So, like, we've got our core guys that have been with me for 6-7 years already, and they keep the world turning for us, right? Like, new hires come in, they're like the leaders, right? Everybody leans on them. They teach the young guys. I mean, I used to be very involved in the field on that kind of stuff, and now I rely on those core guys to like, hey, you got a new guy on site, show him the ropes, show him what it's like to work for STX, right? And honestly, I think most guys that work for me don't leave. Our employee turnover rate is extremely low. Like, if you're working for us, they'll stay with us. So
that says a lot about your company and kind of.
yeah. Well, it's just we're all men. We're grown. Like, and I always tell guys too, like, we don't need no children here, right?
Mm-hmm.
We're grown men. Let's get some work done. Let's make something awesome happen.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, we provide a good work-life balance, and you know, the objective is to make the guys want to come to work every day, and feel purpose in the company,
Mm-hmm.
and want to be like, you know, the weekend comes and be like, instead of being excited for the weekend, be excited for coming Monday, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's kind of where we're at. So
Yeah, like if a person feels like they're a part of a team,
exactly.
not just like, yeah, whatever.
Well, and like even end of day things, right? Like greasing equipment. Like we're too small to have a fuel and lube truck going around everywhere. So every we got grease guns in the service trailer, and guys grease their stuff, and it's like, you know, make it a team. This guy's done early because the rock truck got shut down early. There's equipment there. Hey, start greasing, shoveling tracks.
Mm-hmm.
The whole operator can shovel his tracks too. We don't have swampers for that. But everybody, like, put 4 shovels on a hole, it takes 2 minutes, and that thing's shoveled clean, right? I mean, if everybody works as a team, they get in and out faster, and that's trying to build dynamic there, where it's like, you know, and that's where, like, sometimes new guys struggle. Is like, they're like, well, I worked for this big company, and I had a swamper, and he would shovel my tracks.
I've never had a swamper.
Yeah. It's like, what, like...
D11s are the worst to clean.
Yeah, I bet. Especially going a little bit of muskeg or something in there.
Brutal.
My God.
Just like, even just a bit of moisture, there's so much to
Oh,
build.
yeah.
There's like
Yep.
several feet to build up.
I've seen guys on, like, Facebook or stuff like that. They just have, like, a skid steer attachment just poking him out. But, yeah, the whole team mentality is... That's what I really love about it, right? It's just... Everybody just work together, and everybody leaves the site at the same time. You're not leaving 10 minutes earlier because you're done early. There's no reason you can't be helping someone else out in your team, right? Like, so it's building that dynamic, and I think the guys enjoy it. I hope they do. I mean, I don't get too many complaints, but yeah, it's a great place to work if they want to come.
Cool.
Yeah.
Right on. Thanks for coming on.
You betcha.
Gotta give you a cheers here. There you go.
Cheers. Thanks, Scott. Appreciate it.